Since the beginning of cinema, the box office has been a pivotal factor in a film's success or failure. In recent years, declining theatre attendance has severely impacted the box office, affecting even films that receive praise from both audiences and critics. While 2024 saw its share of strong films, it also produced a number of major box office flops, as is common in any year. In this video, we're counting down the top 10 biggest flop movies of 2024, exploring what went wrong and how these films ended up falling flat. Let's dive into the cautionary tales of Hollywood's most notable misfires this year. So let's start our video with the 10th biggest box office bomb of 2024 on our list, the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Welfare. Guy Ritchie's The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare is a World War II action film inspired by Operation Postmaster and based on Damian Lewis's book, Churchill's Secret Warriors. The story follows a secret team, recruited by Winston Churchill, using unconventional tactics to destroy Hitler's U-boats and change the war's course. Despite a star-studded cast, including Henry Cavill, Cary Elwes, and Alan Ritchson, the film grossed just $27 million on a $60 million budget. Critics felt its over-reliance on excessive action and a weak narrative overshadowed the compelling true story of the daring real-life mission. And on number 9, we have The Fall Guy. Ryan Gosling takes the lead in The Fall Guy, an action comedy where he plays Colt Seavers, a retired stuntman who returns to the industry to work on a film directed by his ex-girlfriend, played by Emily Blunt. The plot thickens when the movie's star goes missing, pulling Seavers into a surprising conspiracy. While the film received strong reviews for its entertainment value and focus on character over CGI, it struggled financially. With a global box office total of over $180 million, it fell short of the $275 to $300 million needed to break even, resulting in a loss for the studio, as reported by Variety. And the 8th biggest box office bomb of 2024 is Borderlands. The sci-fi action comedy Borderlands, based on the popular video game series of the same name, had an underwhelming debut at the box office, making little impact during its opening weekend. Starring Cate Blanchett as an outlaw who returns to her home planet to team up with a group of misfits in search of a powerful man's missing daughter, the film struggled to capture the magic of its source material. According to Deadline, the disappointing release could cost the studio an estimated $20 to $30 million. However, one silver lining was a boost in video game sales following the film's release. Despite this, Borderlands was widely criticized by audiences and critics alike for being a lackluster adaptation that failed to deliver on multiple fronts. And the 7th biggest box office bomb of 2024 is Fly Me to the Moon. Fly Me to the Moon is a romantic comedy set against the backdrop of NASA's preparations for the historic Apollo 11 moon landing. To safeguard against potential failure, NASA devises a backup plan, a staged moon landing. They enlist an advertising executive, Scarlett Johansson, to collaborate with a launch director, Channing Tatum, and other staff to create a believable hoax. Despite its intriguing premise and star-studded cast, the film struggled at the box office, earning just over $4 million in its opening weekend, well below the projected $12 million. While general audiences were unimpressed, some critics highlighted Johansson and Tatum's comedic chemistry as the film's standout feature. And the 6th biggest box office bomb of 2024 on our list is Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga. Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga, the latest addition to George Miller's iconic franchise, struggled at the box office despite receiving largely positive reviews. The film explores the origin story of Fury Road's Furiosa, portrayed by Anya Taylor-Joy and Lila Brown, tracing her journey from childhood abduction to becoming an imperator. Critics attributed the film's underperformance to waning interest in the franchise and its prequels. However, the movie garnered high praise, with Empire's John Nugent awarding it 5 out of 5 stars and commending Taylor-Joy's performance as a worthy homage to Charlize Theron's original portrayal. The film's reception highlights that critical acclaim doesn't always align with box office success. And on number 5, we have The Crow. Some movies should never be remade, and when fans learned of the 1994 film The Crow being rebooted, they predicted it would flop. The original holds a near-sacred legacy, not just because of Brandon Lee's tragic death, but due to his unmatched performance. In the remake, Bill Skarsgård stars as Eric Davin, who seeks revenge after he and his soulmate are murdered. The Crow remake was a disaster, earning just $24 million worldwide on a $50 million budget. Fans found it hard to see why anyone thought remaking such a beloved classic would succeed. While not a criticism of Skarsgård, the film felt like a cash grab, relying on over-the-top action and gore, lacking the depth and memorable performance that made the original so iconic. And on number 4, we have Argylle. Argylle, an espionage comedy starring Bryce Dallas Howard, initially showed promise with its intriguing premise and ensemble cast, but suffered a disastrous box office run. Howard plays Ellie Conway, a successful author whose spy novels about Agent Argylle unexpectedly align with real-world espionage, drawing her into a dangerous blur between fiction and reality. A spin-off in the Kingsman universe, the film aimed to expand the franchise, but fell short, grossing only $96 million globally against its $200 million budget. Critics were largely disappointed, citing its strong start with a playful twist on spy thrillers, but criticizing its lack of focus and dwindling energy midway through. And the third biggest box office bomb of 2024 on our list is Madame Web. Madame Web became one of Marvel's lowest-grossing films, earning the title of the ultimate superhero movie punchline. The film follows Cassie Webb, Dakota Johnson, as she discovers her supernatural powers and tries to save 3 women from Ezekiel Sims, Tahar Rahim, who wants to kill them before they can become Spider-Women. While it nearly broke even, grossing just over $100 million on a similar budget, Madame Web earned scathing reviews for its uneven storytelling. Despite an interesting premise, the film felt disjointed, with a stiff tone and awkward moments that unintentionally came off as humorous, making it Sony's worst entry in the Spider-Man universe. And the second biggest box office bomb of 2024 is Megalopolis. Anticipation was high for Francis Ford Coppola's Megalopolis, a science fiction drama delayed multiple times, which only built more suspense. However, upon its release, audiences were puzzled by its focus on visual spectacle over a solid story. Set in an alternate 21st century, the film follows an architect, Adam Driver, whose ambitions put him at odds with powerful forces, including the city's mayor, Giancarlo Esposito. Despite Coppola's reputation for genre versatility, Megalopolis bombed at the box office, grossing just $13 million on a $136 million budget. Rather than offering a gripping narrative, the film became a confusing collection of visually impressive scenes that failed to connect. And the last biggest box office bomb of 2024 on our list is Joker: Folie à Deux. Following the massive success of Joker, fans were excited for its sequel, Joker: Folie à Deux. However, the film turned out to be a letdown, receiving poor reviews and becoming one of the biggest box office flops of 2024. The story follows Arthur Fleck, Joaquin Phoenix in Arkham Asylum, where he meets Harley Quinn, Lady Gaga, while struggling with his dual identity. Marketed as a musical, the film's execution shocked audiences, leading many to walk out midway. With over $200 million in global earnings, it still fell far short of its $450 million break-even point, resulting in a significant financial loss for Warner Bros. Despite other box office disappointments, Joker: Folie à Deux remains the biggest bomb of the year. So, Which movie among these 10 do you think should have performed better? Let us know in the comments section, and for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe to our channel.